And shrinking souls that refuse to cave to their bullets and fear of a better homeland, we sang and prayed. The craven, too weak to let go of steer, we made a stand, strong and brave, dangerous and treasonous, despite our fears. Mama, I'm the personification of February 18th. The dream cast as a nightmare. Remember the pains of June 25th. We birthed a new republic on national glare. So do not mourn for my absent months. The fallacy of tribes was laid to bear. You should have seen me, Mama, stand for truth amongst youth of all skin and hair. Mama, I know it's gloom in my shadow, living in the doom of a dimmed sun. Cast your eyes upon that empty cradle. Protest is a right for every man. It's time with the youth standing for back.
Listen. Come back now. Come back here. What are we supposed to do? Who knows what is supposed to be done? Just tell me. Must go. Must go anywhere. Must go anywhere. Must go anywhere. We have to reject such kind of things in our community. Reject. Police brutality down. Police brutality down.
Hadithi nitawasimulia tulipotoka na tunapokwenda kwa makini. Hebu jaribu kuangalia. Haikuwa rahisi nchi kukombolewa, vilio na kurushiwa risasi. Jamani, walipitia.
Tulikuwa raised with a promise utumishi ni kwa wote. Lakini hii imekuwa kama wimbo ya kampeni na sikika kila kona, lakini haitimizi ahadi. Tukafunzwa national values, lakini walisahau the first and the most important value of any nation ni kuprotect maisha ya binadamu. Wakasema the police are here to protect us, lakini walisahau kutuambia that sometimes simama hapo kijana means your life ends today. Siku hizo ukiwa Kondele and you see a Subaru slows down beside you, Murife run. Because we've seen what happens when the wrong car stops beside the right person. Yuko wapi Baby Pendo? Yuko wapi Paul Otieno, a sales sergeant in Kandele who was killed when trying to make his ends meet? Yuko wapi Bernard Ontana who was killed akienda kubuy food? The list is endless, and the state of Kisumu will never forget their name. Is there a way we can create order without silencing the citizens? Is there a way someone can explain to me should to kill in a constitution that swears life is sacred? Is there a way we can trust a system where after peaceful protest, a parent is called kuenda Rivayala kuchukua mwili ya mtoto wake? Is there a way?
Asante Mungu Baba kutubariki na viongozi waloleta ukombozi, uhuru tukapata tukajivunia, ila bado watuoni. Sasa hivi kumebadilika, sisi kwa sisi tunajangamiza, sauti ya mwananchi kisikika, kutetea bendera nitakabwa.
Sometimes mi hujiuliza, police service to serve kina nani? Who benefits when a police shoot an innocent citizen? Who benefited when Baby Pendo was killed? Who benefited when Albert Ojwang was murdered in a police cell? Who benefited when Rex Masai was killed? Who benefited when Jezis were killed in the bloody parliament? Who benefits when bodies of innocent souls are dumped into Rivayala? Who benefits? And after kujiuliza that, we come to realize that human rights are not even complex. They have the right to walk on breathing, not bleeding. They have the right to speak without disappearing like WhatsApp status. They have the right to demand for change without becoming a case study. They have the right to be youth without dying young. Because human rights are not privileges. Human rights are not favors. They are our everyday essentials. Kutetea kiangu, gonna be loyal to the flag. Nchi yangu nayoipenda, nitasimama imara kutetea kiangu, gonna be loyal to the flag. Nchi yangu nayoipenda.
All right. You can all be seated. I am Honorable Justice Shamina.
I present to this honorable court the case of the Republic versus Dikizo with a charge of cyber harassment contrary to a section of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act of 2018, case number 2002 of 2025.
Do we have the accused in the court? Is he in? Yes.
Your Honor, the accused was found inciting the public, spreading false information about the government, and cybercrime. After thorough investigation, as illustrated by the evidence provided before this Honorable Court, the accused was directly involved in the mentioned accusations. I beg to rest my case, Your Honor.
Yes, the defense counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ojuang Musi, the advocate. We appear for the Kiza 25-year-old student falsely accused of cyber harassment.
Ikizo, comrade power! Comrade power!
Order in my court, please. Order.
The prosecution alleges he posted defamatory messages targeting the government to cause mayhem and unrest. Our preliminary objections are fair administration action by my client was not read his Miranda rights, was not taken to the closest police station as legally required by law, was not given access to legal counsel, and was not produced in court within the legal requirement time, which is 24 hours after arrest. We applied for habeas corpus for proof of life after prolonged disappearance following his abduction. Secondly, right to fair hearing. Third, freedom of expression. And fourth, unlawful search and seizure. Defense lack of mens rea, no intent to harass or intimidate. Identity theft, that is, his social media account was hacked. Third, insufficient evidence. Your Honor, whatever was placed.
Order in my court, please.
Your Honor, whatever has been placed before you is circumstantial evidence flawed. Our exhibits will show that whatever has been brought before you is not enough to prove whatever they are claiming he did. Our prayers are dismiss the charges, Your Honor, investigate the allegation of hacking and grant us cost, and lastly, may you order the investigation of the arresting officer, Your Honor. And unto this end, Your Honor, we will educate, will organize, and we will liberate our people from the fangs of injustice.
Mkikuja kotini mtatuambia viva. Kwa majina naitwa Grace Sitati, mimi ni hakimu. Nimekuja kusimama kwa niaba ya Justice Mchelule, ni mwenyekiti wa kamati ya mediation.
Thank you for this opportunity. Like you heard, my name is Chahale, Vincent Chahale. I serve as the country director of International Justice Mission. And I've not come alone, I've come with my colleagues who are seated in the tent on my far right. They can just wave, thank you. And it's a pleasure for us to be here today. The International Justice Mission is a global team of lawyers, social workers, community activists, and professionals spread across 44 offices in 29 countries who share the mission of protecting people in poverty from violence. We partner with governments to rescue and restore victims, hold perpetrators accountable, and help strengthen public justice systems. IJN's office in Kenya was established in the year 2001, and we deal with two programs. The first program is police abuse of power and violence against women and children. We collaborate closely with justice actors, including the National Police Service, the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Witness Protection Agency, the judiciary, and all other stakeholders, the church, the community justice centers. And our objective is to strengthen the criminal justice system so that we can protect the vulnerable people in our society from violence. This year's International Human Rights Day, with the UN theme being Human Rights, Our Everyday Essentials, speaks directly to our mission of protecting people from everyday violence. The theme highlights how rights are fundamental to daily life, and yet for millions living in poverty, these essentials are violated through violence, like abuse of women and children and police misconduct. Human rights are not abstract ideas. They are a foundation of a life free from abuse and exploitation. And IJM, in pursuit of that, works to make them a tangible reality by partnering with local authorities to build accessible and effective justice systems that can enforce these rights and make justice unstoppable. I want to take this opportunity to commend the judiciary, especially considering its commitment to equitable access to justice, guided by the Chief Justice's vision of social transformation through access to justice. This vision reminds us that justice is not a privilege, it is a universal right. Despite these commendable efforts by the judiciary and other actors, IJM usually does from time to time, we usually do some surveys, and recently we did a baseline survey which revealed a significant trust deficit in Kenya's criminal justice system. We found out, among other things, through that survey, that 42.9% of Kenyans reported experiencing police misconduct, what we were watching through the traveling theater. And 69.9% have witnessed such wrongdoing, with corruption and harassment being the most common forms. Corruption, we found it to be at 55.8%, and harassment at 54.7%. These figures underscore a systemic challenge. Many citizens perceive justice actors as inaccessible or biased. This reality calls for urgent collective action to restore confidence through transparency, accountability, and stronger collaboration between the state and non-state actors, so that justice is not just done, but it is seen to be done. And I'm sure many of us have heard that phrase before, but I usually, I'm saying it somewhat in jest because I think that is the most misquoted quote. Because when you look at the origin of that phrase, you find out that that is not exactly what the judge in that case said. He said that justice must not just be done, but it should manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done. And I think that's what we are trying to do here today. When we are having this bonga na koti, we are trying to make justice manifest, and we are trying to erase the doubts that key stakeholders who are members of the public may have. So as we celebrate this day, let us commit to advancing justice for all Kenyans. International Justice Mission is committed to stronger partnerships between all stakeholders. We believe this will pave way for meaningful and lasting change.
We may ask ourselves what may be the significance of a day like today, when we have an open day by the judiciary in Kisumu. It gives us an opportunity for public awareness, where we are supposed to sensitize the public on our services, our processes, as well as the legal rights. We are also supposed to demystify the processes the legal processes that are undertaken in our institution, and also to counter the perceptions negative perceptions that we may have against the judiciary. It also helps us to engage with our clients, that is the public, the litigants, and it's an opportunity for the public to give us a feedback so that we can be able to improve our services as we deal with our cases. And finally, it also gives us an opportunity to be able to know the shortcomings that we may have as we dispense with justice. And today, let me take the opportunity to thank profusely IJM, Vincent, for, together with the other stakeholders, LSK, and the other stakeholders, for sponsoring this day. If it was not for yourselves, definitely will not be able to have held this very important day where we are supposed to synthesize and inform and enlighten the public of Kisumu about this Human Rights Day. The Human Rights Day, the human rights are daily essentials. During these challenging moments, at this particular point in time in the history of this country, at this particular point in time, when there are so many challenges, as far as matters governments are concerned, it is important that the public is enlightened. Each one of us have to know our legal rights so that we are in a position to defend them to the hilt at the first opportunity. In the judiciary, let me talk about what we do in the judiciary as while we try to enhance, protect and maintain and uphold the human rights as a daily practice. We try our level best to give a fair hearing and ensure that everybody who comes to the courts is given an opportunity to present his case. We give a due process and ensure that in every stage, at every stage, the opportunity is given to the litigants so that they can be able to enjoy the right of access to justice. We presume all those who appear before us in criminal cases to be innocent. We treat all accused persons with dignity and fairness until such time as they are proven guilty. That is the only time that we surrender them to the institution, the corrective institution that is established by law. We also ensure that we try our level best to expedite the disputes that come before us. We try to simplify our processes. Right now we have, for those who have the small claims, 2 years ago the judiciary established the small claims courts, which has established very clear and processes that are very light, which are not complicated, and even Wanjiku can appear and represent herself without fearing about the complicated processes that are there in the law. We also treat those who appear before us equally, and at the end of it, give reasoned reasons for the decisions which we make. And at all times, we ensure that we maintain a respectful interaction with everybody that appears before us, all the way from the professionals, the officers of the court who are the advocates, as well as the litigants. In fostering community engagement on day-to-day basis, it is the judiciary's intention to enhance access to justice, and we know through the vision of the STAJ, the vision of Honorable Chief Justice, that enhancing access to justice is the first pillar. And for us to be able to maintain that, that is why we are holding functions like today, Open Day. We also have dialogues every morning in our court. We do have briefings where we are able to explain to those who seek justice. We explain to them the processes and are able to direct them on what to get from our institutions. We also endeavor to strengthen collaboration with community leaders. We work hand in hand with the community leaders through the court users committees, where chiefs and other community leaders business leaders, the leaders of the youth, and others are able to interact with the judiciary or judicial officers, where we are able to deal with issues as well as challenges that bedevil the administration of justice. It is in this issue that we do endeavor to promote people-centered and responsive court services. It is for this reason that we do have opportunities. We have we do offer user-friendly services. We have signages. We have feedback desks, and we give special considerations to children as well as PWDs, as well as survivors of violence. I take this opportunity, members of the public, I encourage the people of Kisumu to dialogue with us at all times when you have issues that bedevil you or the disputes that you have. Be open and you come to us and we'll be able to give you an ear so that your rights as they are contained in the Constitution, you are able to have them protected. For this day, therefore, what would be the takeaways that I would like us to take away? Number one is that the human rights are everyday essentials, that the protection of our rights, let it be a guide, a daily guide, to guide our actions, decisions, and interactions. Know that we have brought the courts closer to yourselves. This open day, you have the opportunity to ask all the questions that you may have on our processes, on our procedures, and everything that you would want to know about the justice delivery in Kisumu. Thirdly, collective responsibility that judicial officers, legal practitioners, civil society, and the public, we must work together to uphold fairness, equity, equality, and rule of law. Fourthly, that we have inclusive and trusted justice. We aim to have a day that we experience fairness, openness, and accountability. And as we go back to our homes and neighborhoods and communities, we know that we have a platform or a forum where our rights are able to be protected and maintained. And finally, we sustain engagement, partnerships between the judiciary and the community, together with the civil societies as well as our stakeholders, the LSK. Finally, let me take this opportunity to thank the LSK, Madam. The lawyers are doing a good job in Kisumu. We have so many of them who are doing pro bono cases for those, especially for the children who come who are in conflict with the law, for those who are facing serious criminal charges like murder, and the issues of dishonesty amongst the legal profession. We have not had it in Kisumu, and I urge your membership to continue doing that. The only thing that you may have to do, Madam, is that we have a legal aid office at the locals. For the last 1 year, it has been closed. How I wish the LSK, in conjunction with other like-minded stakeholders like IJL and many others, can it be operationalized so that our members of the public, the litigants who cannot be able to afford, but who really have serious issues that need to be addressed, can be able to be assisted. And because there will be ready assistance, the court is there, if that premises can be put to use. So, with those so many remarks, allow me and permit me to declare this Kisumu Law Court stay open, and that these Human Rights Day celebrations can come to a climax where we'll be able to go to the respective desks and we'll be able to be assisted. Thank you and good afternoon.